You know, Goshinki is such a fucking sore loser that he had to infest the mind of Kaijinbo in order to basically get his round 2 on Inuyasha. Because, as we know from the end of volume 16, alright, that Kaijinbo finished the brand new sword known as Toukijin, which was forged from the teeth of Goshinki, who is referred to as the third child of Naraku, basically. And Goshinki was somewhat of a telepath, where he can hear people's thoughts and know what they're about to do because of said thoughts. Which, okay, if you're facing off an enemy that knows your fucking thoughts, then best thing to do is not think of shit. Like, I don't know why that's a hard concept for characters in, let's call it anime-dom or manga-dom. Or better yet, repeat the same thought over and over and over again. Shit, that's how Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho got one over on a boxer who was basically relying on the fact that he would know what people were thinking to get up in the world of boxing. But Urameshi just kept repeating the same line over and over and over and over and over again in his head, to where the dude couldn't read his mind because of that simple fact. Yet, no one out of Inuyasha's gang thought about doing this. None of them were like, gee, he can read our minds. How about, we do something to counter this? It goes to show the brain power behind the outfits. I'm surprised that Miroku didn't even think about that. But that's all said and done. Goshinki got defeated in a really brutal manner by full-blood yokai Inuyasha. And thus we fast forward. Now the sword is made. The sword, which has the essence of Goshinki in it. And like I said before, it festered into the being of Kaijinbo. Now, Kaijinbo, well, he really ain't shit. Okay? He gets defeated really easily by Inuyasha. Right after Inuyasha reverts back from being human, because once a month he's human. Yeah, it's like Inuyasha has his own menstrual cycle, except for his menstrual cycle is he turns human for just 1 day, not 5. Yeah. Anyways, so that happens. He gets Tetsusaiga back. I almost said Tenseiga, and that is like fusing 2 of the core swords of the story. Tenseiga and Tetsusaiga, which is totally and utterly incorrect to say. So, sorry, Tetsusaiga. And he notices that, somebody has been fucking with his controller. They inverted the goddamn controls. Yeah, it plays differently now. What this means is that now Tetsusaiga went from being Cloud's fucking Buster Sword to Guts fucking Dragon Slayer. It's twice as big and really fucking heavy. And apparently, Inuyasha doesn't know how to handle that much girth. And it looks like all that girth came from his fucking tooth. Because, here's the thing, when Tetsusaiga broke, alright, in order to reforge it, Totosai needed material. Because, like Dark Souls, okay, if you don't have the right fucking material, you're not going to get that upgrade of a weapon. As well as, of course, your stats have to be at a certain level, blah, 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 blah. And so, pretty much with this K9 tooth, which is like the equivalent of getting iron ore, I believe it was called, or diamond ore, whatever. Something ore. It's been a while since I played those games. Okay? Totosai forged it and made a better weapon altogether. But the thing is, his weapon is so fucking massive that, I mean, not just weapon. Tetsusaiga is so fucking massive that Inuyasha is having a hard time wielding it. If I had to guess, it's probably equivalent of your average person with a decent above average strength. You know, like not up there like bodybuilder level kind of strength, not like that, but maybe a few degrees below it. Like someone that has been working in construction for a couple years, like that kind of strength. And they're wielding we'll say that they're wielding a sledgehammer that has an abnormal sized head. That's probably, I'm guessing, what it's like for Inuyasha to wield this new weapon. Or granted, this upgraded version of an already existed weapon that he has been using throughout the entire series up to this point. Which might mean that he's going to need to reconfigure the strategy, the way he goes into battle, and the way he conducts himself during battle as well. Which he does get his first true battle in this volume. Well, while using this new weapon, I mean. Now, Toukijin, which basically took over the mind of Kaijinbo, didn't do fucking shit to Sesshoumaru. Sesshoumaru has such massive amount of charisma that the sword basically went, fuck it, you're mine. And not in the, you're mine, I'm going to seep into your brain and fucking control you because I want revenge. The sword was like, yeah, okay, cool. We'll work together. Now was that. It was like the whole entire Goshinki arc just kind of ended. There was no climax, nothing. And the only reason why Sesshoumaru was even trying to fight Inuyasha was because he wanted to see for himself whether or not the scent that he had smelled from the corpse of Goshinki was in fact real. And basically, Sesshoumaru fucked around and found out. He fucked around so damn much that Inuyasha was that close to ending his subscription to life. Yeah, he was gonna basically tell him, motherfucker, your credit card is declined, and bye-bye, good riddance. But here's the thing. Tetsusaiga noticed this. Noticed that Inuyasha was about to fucking pop off, and decided that, you know what, we all need to get the fuck out of here. Now, here's the thing. Tetsusaiga, being as massive as it is, yes, it was forged from the tooth of Inuyasha himself. And there's another thing, too, is that it was forged right after the first time Inuyasha had fully utilized his feral yokai power. Which means that, well, all that power, or not all of it, but a good, maybe, if I just fucking guess here, I'd say like 20-30% possibly is now in that fucking sword. And quite possibly it could be that if Inuyasha was allowed to take that fight a step further, that he possibly could have wielded that sword the way it was intended. Or, sorry, wield Tetsusaiga the way that it was intended to be wielded. And this is actually the first time that Sesshoumaru was literally shitting bricks. That he was fucking shook. He was more shook than, let's say, than people's reactions to Invincible when, spoiler alert, if you have not watched Invincible, gosh, kind of skip ahead a couple seconds. Yeah. Maybe no. Actually, let's not use that analogy. Forget about it. Okay? He was so scared. There's nothing better to really compare to what I was just about to say. Anyways, Sesshoumaru was fucking shook. Let's put it that way, okay? He was just shook to his fucking core. And so that part ends. But hold on, there's more. Now, Sesshomaru gets confronted by Kagura, the wind bitch. And it's because of this, Kagura basically asks Sesshomaru, if they could team up to kill Naraku. Because, well, Sesshomaru hates Naraku, and apparently Naraku's own children hate Naraku. Yeah. He's such a despiteful fucking creature that even his own children want him dead. Fucking A. And now, we know for certain now that Sesshomaru, if he could get his hands on Naraku and kill him, he'll fucking do it. He'll do it in a fucking heartbeat. So, Naraku gives birth to a new fucking child named Jigoumaru, who later on we learn has an identical twin in a sense that looks honestly, it kind of reminds me of Migi from Parasite. And this little motherfucker is named Kageroumaru or some shit like that. Yeah, apparently it was living inside of Jigoumaru's stomach. And basically these two, they don't discriminate. They just attack whomever. Yeah. Like when they were first born, they cut off Naraku's head. Just straight up killed him. But since it's Naraku, and since, he is the main fucking villain of the story, of course he isn't fucking dead, even with his head being decapitated. So it makes you wonder, what is it gonna take to fully fucking kill this guy? And I think that's already been answered. It's obviously the power of the Shikon Jewel, plus as long as the jewel gets to be purified, and plus the power of possibly what's called the two maidens, okay? That being Kikyo and Kagome. They will probably be not the core, sorry, wrong word, the answer to Naraku's demise. But let's continue on with this review. So, we get to see Soy Boy again. And who's Soy Boy, you might be wondering? Well, Kouga's bitch ass. Yeah, he's back. Thought he wouldn't be back for a little while, but fuck, he's back again. And him and his crew are looking for Naraku's castle, basically. Well, they find it. Well, actually, they don't find it. They kind of find Naraku. And that's where we are introduced to Jigoumaru. Kouga fights against Jigoumaru, kind of runs away because he's a little bitch. And Inuyasha and Co. They run into Kouga, and Kouga fucking runs off. And then Kouga is basically told by his own boys, like, yo, isn't Kagome down there with Inuyasha? And that, like, Jigoumaru dude's there too. And Kouga comes back, and he does make a grand entrance back into the fight by kicking Kageroumaru, and him and Inuyasha begrudgingly start working together. Now, I'm kind of irritated by the fact that, Kouga, who, well, essentially, he was the initial person that was supposed to be fighting against Jigoumaru, just fucking runs off. And the fact that he's supposedly so in love with Kagome that he neglects the fact that when he ran off, well, he left Jigoumaru in Inuyasha's care, as well as Kageroumaru in Inuyasha's care. And he basically left Kagome defenseless. So when he comes back and saves Kagome, because Kagome almost got her, subscription to life fucking just, he blamed Inuyasha for not being able to protect her. It's like, wait, what? You're the one who fucking ran off like a scared little bitch because you got some chili willies in your gut, because you got that deep down dark pit fucking feeling, and the only one you thought about was yourself. And you ran off like a bitch. This is why I don't like Kouga. Because Kouga is a fucking bitch. And yeah, argue all you will. He came back. No. He came back and held out with the fight. In a sense, he's not really helping out. In a sense, you know, both Inuyasha and Kouga are fighting two separate battles against an enemy that is working in conjuncture with itself. Because let's face it, Jigoumaru and Kageroumaru are the same fucking person. Or yokai, whatever. Same one. And the only way these two are going to defeat this enemy is if they work together. Which will probably end up being the case. I'm guessing that this fight is going to conclude in probably the first couple of chapters for volume 18. And man, I can't believe I'm already 17 volumes into this fucking story. It's actually a lot better than I initially thought. I really wish the anime was as good as this manga is, because honestly it's not. And with that being said, what do you guys think of Inuyasha Volume 17? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. That way the algorithm will know that my stuff is, lack of better words, good to watch. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And then after you subscribe, hit that little thing looks like a bell. It's called a notification. Make sure a bell is, ringing. That way you will know when I put out another video. And if you want to follow me on any social media platform, well, you can do so after I say goodbye.